Hello and welcome. CWC Daily is back, and that's because it's semi-final day. And wow, what a corker. These teams and players have been on a long old journey to get where they are, and today it's the end of the road for either South Africa or New Zealand. Tense. Now, what an incredible Cricket World Cup we've witnessed so far. Let's take a look back through some of the best moments, starting with the opening ceremony, and who can forget this guy. The opening game saw wins for the co-hosts Australia and New Zealand to kickstart their campaigns off in style. It was only into day two, we only had to wait one day to see the epic clash of India against Pakistan. And who can forget the atmosphere at the Adelaide Oval? That was something special. We didn't have to wait too long for the first upset of the World Cup as Ireland stunned the West Indies.
Sure I don't look stupid like this?
Wow! The Irish love playing against the big guns. The West Indies, though, would bounce back in style, thanks in main to Chris Gayle scoring the first ever Cricket World Cup double century.
A Gale force has arrived! It's Chris Gayle! The West Indies batsman scoring the first ever double century in World Cup history!
And who could forget this guy, Rambo himself, Hamid Hassan. Hazard! I think he pulled it off a bit better than me. Now, as the pool stages came to a close, Bangladesh crushed England and sent them packing and sailed through to the quarter-finals. They'd be joined by a slow-starting Pakistan side who rose to the pressure to see off the plucky Irish. They were joined in the final eight by India, South Africa, the West Indies, Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, and of course, Bangladesh. And quarter-final one, we saw the Proteas breeze through the Sri Lankan batting lineup and win that game by 9 wickets. India comfortably saw off Bangladesh in quarter-final number 2, maintaining their 100% record to the tournament. Quarter-final 3, though, Australia were really put through the test by a Wahab Riaz-inspired Pakistan, but made it through to the semi-finals. And who can forget Martin Guptill's 237 not out as New Zealand went through to the semi-finals at the expense of the West Indies. And that brings us to today and to one of the most gripping Cricket World Cup matches of all time. It's New Zealand against South Africa at Eden Park. Bowling first, New Zealand got off to the best possible start. Trent Boult taking the wickets of openers Hashim Amla and Quinton de Kock in quick succession. The New Zealand outfield was on fire too. Martin Guptill catching Riley Rousseau fantastically after he scored 49. Faf du Plessis steadied the South Africa ship and alongside Captain de Villiers swung the game in their favour.
AB de Villiers goes downtown.
After a rain delay, du Plessis was out for 82. South Africa set a rain-adjusted total of 298 to win from 43 overs. In reply, Brendan McCullum opened and machine-gunned his way to 59.
Swung away for 6 more. Oh dear, that is enormous. Oh, that's over the top. My word.
He handed the baton over and Grant Elliott and Corey Anderson picked it up and began to chase an imposing South Africa score.
Ball toss and he puts him straight back into the south stand.
As both reached their half-century, the pendulum in this tense encounter began to swing New Zealand's way.
And he has 50 as well. That's gone. That's gone. Way back.
Elliott finished a tight run chase with a massive 6 to send the local fans into rapture. What an astonishing game of cricket that was. Wow. Two teams bringing their A-game and giving their all. The whole of the cricketing world, eyes were drawn on this contest. We take our hats off to both teams. Incredible effort from South Africa and New Zealand. And on Twitter, @Hamza10 said, what a game of cricket played by both sides. Eventually New Zealand won the game, but South Africa won our hearts. They certainly did. They put up such a brave fight. It was incredible. South African fan on Twitter @Hashim Gardi said, win or lose, I support you Proteas for your dedication and for your fighting spirit. They never ever gave up in that game, gave it their all, and unfortunately at that point at the end, New Zealand pipped them over the line. Over on Twitter as well, Scottish player Michael Lee said, what a game of one-day cricket. Serious bottle from Grant Elliott, hashtag pure class. That innings by Grant Elliott will go down in Cricket World Cup history. He just looks so calm and composed throughout. And Australian cricketer Steve Smith said, "Amazing game of cricket, well done New Zealand." I'm sure himself and the rest of the Australian team's eyes were glued to that contest as they could be playing them in the final. But they've got to get past the Indian side first, who come through to the semi-final with a 100% record. I can't call this one. One day I'm going Australia, the next I'm thinking it's going to be India. What do you think? Who's going to make the final, India or Australia? Comment below or tweet us with the hashtag CWC Daily. And we'll be back on Thursday to bring you semi-final number 2. Hopefully it's going to be another epic contest. I'm sure it will be. We'll see you then.